that mid needs to win, that side laner needs to win, this is the one. So I feel like the jungle matchup is, you know, pretty important, but they really got to make sure, especially for the gold lane, right? If you're able to get a hero that can rotate fast, it can start to get out of control very, very fast.
Yeah, so are you saying that Yaguai are cooked?
Am I saying they're cooked? How do I phrase
What's
this?
your command? Your
As a parent,
As a parent.
Okay.
right?
You're a parent?
Not yet.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. It's kind of like when your son comes back home and said, "Dad, I got suspended."
Okay.
You know?
For what?
Yeah. You don't ask. Like, as a dad, you don't ask.
Really?
You just isolate yourself in a room.
What?
Wait, as a parent,
As a parent.
you're gonna isolate yourself,
I mean, that's what I would do.
or are you putting your shoes in the boy?
What? Yeah, I guess that's what I want. You know? Instead of reacting immediately,
Yeah.
how about dad just
Think about it.
think
Alright.
about it for a while?
Okay.
You know, maybe he had a good reason, right? Maybe there was a kid that gets bullied, right? And you're the hero, but then you're the one that got suspended.
fight.
All right. So
Fight
how
for
are
the
And
who's
ultimate
who in that story?
And
Yeah.
the kid that was bullied, his dad is a CEO, but he doesn't know it yet.
So
Okay,
that's.
but wait, is that Denfeng Yaguai
Yeah,
or
I was gonna
CG?
say, is that? Which
Yeah,
one's
yeah,
the
exactly,
boy?
exactly, yeah, yeah, exactly.
Alright.
In terms of the drafts here, DFWG Yaguai banning out the Grok, smart,
I think CG's a dad because they're cool dad.
Ah,
Story.
cool. But that would be CD.
cool
not CG.
granddad,
I can't spell.
cool granddad.
Cool grand.
Actually, no, you can't, because they're children.
Children.
The
guy.
children's goat.
Oh, that sounds better. The
Yeah,
children.
right.
guy.
It's actually not bad.
All right.
So Grok ban, which also means that they don't want to first pick that, so that's very interesting. And then Eve as well as the Hilda. And now for CG, banning out the Kalia, the Fanny, as well as the Jushin. In terms of first pick here, what is uncookable?
Claude.
What? Claude.
Claude.
Yes, yes, yes.
You just take it, man.
First pick. Honestly, if you have a really good Claude player, I would say, hey, I'm an advocate for first pick Claude. But the Denfeng Yaguai, they may not have that. They have a good Moscow player.
Yeah.
They do.
They do.
Makes sense.
I like it. I like it. I like it. We are gonna see more of this, by the way. First pick Claude as we get into the later stage of the tournament. This is gonna be the new Bruno.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The only thing that worries me about it is last game was what, 10, I think under 11 minutes. It was like 10:40. So even for Amzik, the last game, like he was just like that base finish was like, oh, I can finally do something, you know. But then the game was over. So I feel like even with a first pick Claude, you obviously need to be able to go ahead and win that lane, and put the rest of the team needs to be doing the right things here for DFWG, because if you don't get to utilize the Claude, especially when that 3-item power spike happens, which is usually under the 10-minute mark for a lot of the gold laners right now, then you don't really get to utilize this quality first pick, and they have to be able to complement it. Look at this, wow. So it's actually CG that's going to say, okay, now we'll take the run.
Dude,
the choke.
you're the analyst. What do you think?
I feel like at this point, it's like, dude, we want all 3 games. I like the Lancelot, to be fair. The Cho, though, why are we prioing Cho like this?
You can't spell Joe with an ow.
Yeah, like earlier, I wanted to be a little bit more feisty and say, yo, which one would you go for, Valence Cho or Zed Cho? And now we actually do get it, so hey, it's a battle of the Chos. I hope balance improved.
Let's
from
hope
yesterday.
Amzik is the one who's like, how about you give that to me?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, you
right,
know
right.
what? Amzik
Yeah.
should be like, yo, Coach Rain?
Yeah.
You know-
Or just like, Valence, look at me. I know we don't talk. Right?
How do you know when you don't talk?
Huh?
They don't talk?
Men don't talk. Right?
What are you doing right now?
Actions speak louder than words. Every time I'm speaking to you,
I just-
am I or am I not moving my body?
I just remind you, they were referred to as kids earlier.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? Children don't talk. Actually, they do
They
too
do a
much.
lot, yeah.
They do quite a lot. Okay, carry pick. If this is not a carry pick, it's gonna be a very hard lead.
I think it's fine, by the way. Like, I don't really like the carry into Claude anyways here. It's 5-1
So what? The
tournament right
Obsidia?
now. Okay, not...
Oh, that's a little too far.
Yeah, I'd say just go for the pick and go later.
You know what's interesting, though? We haven't seen too many fighter golds, like, lately.
We've seen Freya coming
Yeah.
in from
Alter Ego.
Oh, there you go.
and Alter Ego.
Yeah. They go Harith.
I like the Harith. It's okay. It's not the best choice here, though. I really don't like the Harith here. It's good as a combo with the Lancelot. You have magic and physical, but against a Farsa plus Claude, that seems like a very bad Harith game.
I'll take the Harith over the Joe. But this does mean that this show is not gonna go gold.
Yeah, and that means... they banned the Guinevere as well. Super Kid on Gwyn. I don't really
with a 0% win rate so far
Yeah.
here ever since the 1st of January.
They're just cool guys,
I
man.
was
They're so
gonna say,
cool.
yeah.
They want the DFWG to fight back.
I feel like they're just they're in that situation where it's like, we'll take this one, you guys got this one, and in terms of heroes, right? Not I don't want to say games here entirely, but I also think this is more of a redemption probably game for Valens here because the Cho's got a 33% win rate in 6 games.
Yeah. Cho is overrated right now.
And that's what I'm wondering. Like, it keeps getting picked up, and there's other great roaming options.
That, in a way, yeah, I like that you say redemption, right? Either he can be a Cho god or Cho garbage, you know? Like, so it's
both
it's
CG.
either or.
It's still CG.
It's still CG.
There's a whole lot of CG.
I can't find another G word that sounds bad. So there you go.
I mean, if you use this word for some people, it's bad. No, no,
No.
ginormous. I was gonna
Okay.
say, yes, that could be.
I know.
Good
I
news
like
on
that you
fans.
guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, yeah, okay. CG, I think
Alice.
Lunox is still what?
No, I feel like if they want EXP,
Alice?
I feel like it's a playmaker.
Yeah, I think the Alice is okay. But in the in mid, I think Lunox should be the choice. But
No, I
it's
mean-
up against Farsight.
No, I mean like
as well.
Alice EXP.
What if
And-
they just?
No, yeah.
What if they just go Valentina? Like they take the Valentina
Actually,
and the
I think
Cho.
it's not bad because you can get the Feta S right.
Yeah.
They go Uranus against the Farsight and Claude. Interesting.
So when you say interesting, what do you mean?
It depends on how I say it. If I say interesting, that means it's good. If I say interesting, it usually means
It's a
I
little
don't like
neutral towards negative.
it. Yeah.
Neutral negative.
Like on stream, I would literally just say it.
Yeah.
With different words.
Yeah.
Yeah. You on stream your vocabulary is more extended.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
You really-
different.
It does seem that you read the thesaurus.
Yeah. I have a whole thesaurus with me when I'm on stream.
Even speaks different languages on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like gusto ko kain sinigang araw-araw.
Galing mo. That's really good.
Well, Ace and Shin as well as Esmeralda picked up. I'm really liking DFWG's draft here.
Yeah, same. CG, I don't know about the Uranus as well now. The Yisun Shin, Farsight, and Claude should be able to tear through
That's why
that
just be a
Uranus.
Valentina.
I really think it should be Lunox, man.
Lunox?
Yeah, if it's Valen, who the heck's gonna deal with Mr. Esme? Mrs. Esme.
Miss Esme. I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
I don't know. Kadita would also might be okay.
Against the Farsight, yeah. But it's expanding
No,
river.
like you have to trust your Cho, right? Get a kick. You
See,
swim.
in
you
normal
swim.
situations, I would agree with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I was gonna
But after
say.
yesterday, I don't know how strong that trust is, man.
I feel like the whole world that's watching
Hey.
pretty much kind of chuckled at that one,
Yeah.
especially the fact that 33% win rate right now.
Yeah.
There it is, Lunox.
Agent M, Agent N.
Yes.
We keep talking about trust during the shoot.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't there, but I'll agree.
You were there in spirit,
All right.
not the team, but like you were astro projectualizing yourself
Yes.
there.
Okay. So
How-
what about it?
What do you think about the draft?
I think I like the DFWG, but the fact that they didn't ban the Lunox and they went for the Esmeralda means that the Esmeralda can get cooked if Chiku gets 5 kills to start again. So if the DFWG don't get 5 kills to start, they have a chance.
Hey, you know what? I trust Valens. I feel like he can use his abilities in a way
I trust he can use his ability.
that will make you proud. We're jumping into game number 2. It's 1-0 in
5
favor
seconds till
of
the enemy
CG.
reaches the
Can
battlefield.
DFWG win
Smash
this
them.
one to extend the series?
DFWG are on the brink of elimination here. Match point. Welcome to the land of Dawn.
Welcome to Mobile
Super Ken back
Legends.
on a Yisun Shin. Oh! Okay. Vengeance Esmeralda. That's why they were so brave, despite having the Lunox open on the other side.
Very rare, by the way.
Very, very rare. And you will be locked down, by
I
the
think
way.
I know why.
Why?
Wait, you
'Cause he
don't know
o-
why, or you
no,
do know why?
I know why.
Why?
He doesn't go for the Purify because he trusts that Valens.
Oh
Will help.
my.
Like,
Yeah.
that's me thinking meta.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like he telling his coach, do I need Purify? And then the coach is like, do you think you need Purify?
From what happened yesterday, makes sense, right? But you are going to be way more vulnerable to getting kicked. So that's a give and take. I guess that's the give and take that DFWG are comfortable with. Let's take a look at the emblems though. This time it's Master Assassin. See, for Lo, he thinks he's going to be able to win out the lane against the Harren, which is a very, very good call. Tenacity on the Esmeralda. Nothing too crazy on the other side, though, yeah? Yeah, just a classic tenacity, vitality, a bit of thrill there for Valens so that he has more base damage to play with.
Yeah, quick arcane boots coming in from both E1 as well as Chiku. So, but this time I don't think Chiku should be getting that many kills because it's quite tanky and Zed does have that revitalize.
Yeah.
So if somehow Chiku gets a lot of kills, that's really their fault.
I mean, even in the last game, I was just surprised that he got that triple so early on, and that's just kind of what paved the way, you know, to that scaling and that MVP performance that he had. But in this case, I think for CG Esports, it's more so it's going to be a little bit slower paced, unless depending how that first turtle goes too, because on both sides you have great level 4 power spikes in terms of like the ultimates that are available to them.
Okay, level 4 already for Yi1. Esmeralda as well there. There should be a free turtle. There should be no chance unless Gary steals it away. Let's see.
I don't know if Gary can get there in time. He's already used. Oh, he does! Goes in with retribution out from Super Ken as Chiku picks up a kill. They're going to be going for more a kick, not in the direction, but it doesn't matter. Valens lives despite under the turret. They pick up 2 plus a turtle. Gary wants to take more. He's going to go ahead and grab himself a purple buff from DFWG.
Don't worry, LaFell. I saw that reaction. It worked out. It worked out.
No, I was sneezing, so I looked away.
Right, right.
He survived too.
It worked out. It worked out. Hey, see, oh.
Maybe we should
Talk about working out. We worked out in the morning.
Oh.
Oh no. Okay, Gary's
Man.
fine.
Gary's already again doing this to Super Ken, man. The gap is going to be crazy here as Gary has stolen away the purple buff, has stolen away a green camp. Super Ken can't do anything right now but go for Lethal Wanderer. He's going to be at least 2 levels down by the time Gary, or sorry, 1 level down by the time Gary clears up orange.
Yeah, so honestly at this point, CG, that was a good way to steal away that turtle. But right now I kind of want to see a bit more systematic coming in from them because I feel like their mid trio is pretty good at starting bolts.
They want to start this one up here in that gold lane. Amzik trying to get away, a jump defensively by Zed. And Valens doesn't have the flicker, so he can't really continue on there. So nothing happens.
Thank goodness.
No, good cancel there from Long. Let's take a look at the items here. Super Ken is able to steal away a green camp, so that levels things a bit more. But yeah, Gary is still consistently farming out. 200 gold lead for the jungle. It's still manageable, really, for Dianfeng Yaoguai. It's not the crazy lead that we saw with 3 kills on Chiku. But still, it's not what you would expect with this composition. You would expect a free neutral objective contest earlier.
Yeah, no, at CG, I kind of feel like they're on a ticking time bomb because they're not using a draft that, personally, in my opinion, skills as well as Dianfeng Yaoguai. Especially, like, the only reason why they can go to the late game is probably just Chiku. But Chiku really has to be the one to take care of 2. Long and Super Ken, or E1 and Long, like, as long as he's able to get 2, I feel like CG will have enough damage for the rest.
Fighting for the turtle here. Valens looking for a setup. Whoa, in the gold lane too. A little 1v1, but they already started up around the turtle. E1 gonna have to back off. That feathered airstrike won't hit anybody. No use there. A jump from Zed fell on the chase. Chiku will survive. They pull off the turtle, but after getting a kill, CG should have the green light for this one.
I think the observers understood the site.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's one of the few times that I would be like, yo, W observer for me to play up because thank goodness we didn't get a full view of Yi1 just completely ulting nothing.
Yeah. Like, honestly, a lot, right? That entire thing happened. I can't believe we looked away, we came back, and basically no one died.
And we were happy that we looked away.
Yeah, I was quite glad.
Too. I mean, part of that is just, you know, you were talking about the scaling earlier on here, LaFell, and I would say that if CG does end it quickly off of, you know, maybe some of the errors that we see from DFWG, you kind of get to avoid that power spike that's going to come from Lung here on the Claude, and I feel like, you know, that's what needs to happen with this lineup that DFWG has.
Yeah, not just Lung, but Super Ken as well. And I think that Dianfeng Yaoguai, they have a good draft to really protect their base.
Oh, this time again, feathered airstrike going to be used, and it just no hit at all. The turret's still going to stay up though, 1 HP on that mid.
Yeah, but probably not going to survive all that long. Valens does have the Way of the Dragon. I just want to see that.
Yeah.
He has it. Not saying he should use it,
He has it.
but he has it.
In some scenarios, he should use it, but he has it right now, is what LaFell's trying to tell y'all back at home, all right? But yeah, so far, even with the Vengeance, it seems like it is a big problem still. Balance, hey!
Oh, balance. Okay,
He's good, he's good. He got the turn.
He understands with all the martial art trains that he has done. You can punch a structure until it crumbles.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of the guy that trains 1,000 different punches.
But be afraid of the Grok, because they tried to do that the last game, and the Grok did not go down.
Yeah.
He's kind of a structure, isn't he?
Yeah,
Doesn't he have a
yeah.
castle
Yeah.
on him or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they go on balance.
Oh, balance. Not sure if he's going to be able to. Okay, he does. Kundo, feather airstrike, not enough damage either. Didn't even have to burn the flicker.
I feel Valens did something to Tianfeng Yaguai because they just love him, or technically they hate him.
Yeah.
Both games now, it's just they target Valens.
I mean, like, love and hate, they're usually speaking in the same breath. Usually how a lot of fight starts.
Gary going to do the same thing here where he just shows up, gets the retribution off. They're going to go for it, and that he does. Gary again, 3 for 3 on these turtles for CG, and I don't think they're going to force anything further, man. DFWG just struggling.
I like that the CG, they're basically just playing macro, not really forcing fights, understanding that DFWG is the one that has to get away.
There's the kick, fell. Trying to bob and weave out of there. Thorn Rose doing quite a bit, but still, it's just CG taking what they want. A3 is going to be fine. He's on that Uranus, and they just continue playing that macro level.
We got to look at the items here to really see, like, what's the difference, especially when it comes to farm. Looking at here, it's really mid-diff again.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it lightly, man, but Yi1 is getting gapped so hard. It's not even funny. Like, the feather airstrikes have just been missing. Fell?
Oh, fell, even with a vengeance. There's 3 members of CG here. He does try to get away, but Chico will go ahead and secure that kill. And now a feathered airstrike. Drop down this time. Super Ken to follow through, finally getting something for DFWG, but they're just losing across the map.
Yeah, so for CG, again, they're just really punishing Tianfeng Yaguai. Tianfeng Yaguai have tried to deal damage, but as long as these feather airstrikes don't land the way they should, it's going to be a struggle. And the fact that E1 is so far behind means that it's going to be easier and easier for CG to dive through and to stop E1 from getting feather airstrikes. Because usually on Farsa, you get one feather airstrike, and then you run, and it's already okay because you've done enough damage.
Yeah.
In this case, you go feather airstrike and you miss it, then you run, you don't do any damage, and you've just gone away.
Okay, Mount Striker being used, just clearing up this top side, keeping Gary under control here. They might try to make a play once again, and AOG going to be used, and the A3 will try to get out. He's taken quite a bit of damage, and he will still survive long enough. Now, Gary is trying to disengage here with Valens trying to help him out. They're full force here. Finally, Loon getting a kill on the board, and now Valens on the run. DFWG will pick up a kill in perfect time. Lord's up, and now Amsic joined the fight. Dropping down that Zaman Force, but Vel pops and he stays alive with a bit of shield, and Amsic's the one to get punished. This is a turnaround for DFWG.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of what just happened there, where CG, they overextended, and it looked like they didn't have enough damage, and even I'm not entirely sure why.
Oh, this is a time for them to go ahead and secure themselves the Lord. Valens jumps in. He's gonna get caught all by himself now. They're just trying to delay the Lord. Gary, can he get here in time? He's so far away. Super Ken will secure the Lord. A jump. Chiku trying to survive, popping off the bolts here, but he had to flicker out.
So the scaling. Tianfeng Yaguai have really good scaling, and technically they did scale, but also CG, Harith was bottom lane. A lot of times you'd be like, what is the Gore lane doing in the bottom lane if you're playing solo? But this ain't solo, man. They actually can communicate. They should know that Amzik was down below, yet they took the 4v5, and that's why you saw Tianfeng Yaguai win it out. It was also a very awkward fight because CG, it looked like they already baited enough resources to back away with Ye 3 tanking up all the damage, but then they kept on going. That should have been a good sign to back off, right? Ye 3 was already low. He needs to at least sustain back up regen. Yep. He has the chance to ice Pauldron now with Oracle, but the thing is, a few of those kills went too low on the Claude. A very broken pick currently. And you can see with the 3-item power spike now, he's going to start doing damage.
Oh, and a jump. Going to force Amzik back, and Lung jumps in with a blazing good. He does BMI on back to safety, but Amzik taken out, and now under the turret. CG on the run, trying to get away here. The stun comes through as Chiku falls, and Lord still up. DFWG quickly turning things back in their favor as they take out a tier 2. Mid lane's going to be pushed by Gary, though. He's going to go for his own tier 2 turret push. They deal with that. Gary tries to get something that looks like that tier 2 will fall. Feathered airstrike once again. Ye 3 flickers defensively. They want their base turret here. DFWG made the work, and they get that base turret.
Yeah, honestly, right now for CG, they're just a little bit all over the place. There's no real system. There's no real structure on what they're trying to do. There's no communication saying like who goes in first, last, and etc. They're playing based on instincts, right? What do you feel like? What do you want to do now? And what they want to do now is like, I want to limit test. Let's see if we can kill Vel. And then they couldn't kill Vel. They stick around a little bit too close, trying to bait them out, but then they just don't realize they're putting themselves in danger.
I just wonder what happened to the macro gameplay that we were seeing in the early game, right? CG were playing such a good game of MLBB. They had the leads. They got perfect turtle. They were building towards a bigger lead, but now they're the ones caught. AOG.
AOG going to be used, but it's on Ye 3, so nothing to follow up off of that. And so you find back to it, and I think that's the question, is what happened in the macro level of gameplay we're seeing from CG. I think you just kind of have to settle back in and kind of recalibrate. Now that the Holy Crystal is in the hands of Amzik, you know, he's got his power spike too. Lung hit his earlier, about a minute or so ago, but Amzik's positioning too, you know, it's got to be very on point because there's so many ways to cut Amzik off on the disengage, just like we saw happen at Chiku.
Yeah, because honestly, whenever Amzik fights, it's kind of he's all alone, right? And I feel like Harv is more annoying when there's so many targets that you kind of lose track of Harv in the middle of a team fight. But if Harv is all alone, then you know how to catch that cat. And you know what happens when a cat gets caught?
What happens?
I don't know.
Oh, I was waiting for an answer there. But yes, the Harith, we did say they was going to struggle already, right? Up against the Claude and the Farsa.
Oh, Valens goes in with a flicker, trying to get a kick. He's going to get AOG taunted with the Unbreakable, get zoning in. But meanwhile, Vel will fall. Good damage coming through from Amzik. And now Gary caught with the stun, and Lung jumps in with the blazing to it, but he's going to get kicked. And now Lung in trouble as he falls the trade 3 for 2. And CG Esports, they'll go to start this Lord. Super Ken is still up with a retribution, though.
But that was the best kick I've seen from Valens so far.
Yes, sir. Free Lord because of it as well. The instant punish from CG. I don't know which one was like the one I should highlight. The botched initiation or the fact that Yanfeng Yaoguai lost that fight.
Definitely, definitely. Because I kind of feel like that.
Because it's what?
Yeah, we're going to be looking at an instant read
There you go.
here. Right? Let's break this down. It was a botch engage coming in from a CG, but then we got to look at the response here. They were all focused on Valens, and all the while, Amzik was all alone, able to deal damage. He won a lot of damage onto Gary, got caught, got stunned up, and Lung, I understand why he had to make the move, because if he cleaned that up, they would have won.
Sure. And now they're knocking on doorsteps.
See what happens here. Lord's gonna go charge in. Mountain Trucker already used too. The Lord's gonna actually be cleared out very quickly. Good clear. Gary will jump in. Oh, Phantom Execution. Lung has to flicker out. And now in the mid lane, Amzik trying to stay alive, but he's taking it down. Revitalize coming in clutch here from Zed. He'll take some damage. They're gonna run him down. I'm not sure if E1's going for an angle here too. Way on the sides. They want to force this fight. Knowing without Amzik, maybe they can take it. Gary trying to help Ye 3 out. Ye 3 concentrate there to heal back up. Gary now trying to get away. Lung jumps in. Blazing duet. The damage is there. They'll take out Valens and Ye 3 next. Double for Super Ken.
That was honestly amazing coming in from Yanfeng Yaoguai, catching the mistake of CG Esports and Amzik on this pick, on this Harif. Actually, you know what? The entire of CG Esports. The bane of their draft right now is honestly that Gato Kacha. Every single time someone dies, they got taunted, right?
Yeah.
CG needs to stay calm and not get taunted. Don't put themselves in a situation where they're going to get free hit by E1, because the entire game, E1 had struggles with that. But the moment Zed was able to catch either Gary or Amzik, that's GG. It's over. Like, at this point, Farsa really hurts. It really does feel like a meteorite to the face.
Yeah, it's... I don't know what to talk about sometimes in these fights, because it really just feels like in that fight as well. CG had the siege.
Yep.
It looked really good. They can back away after losing one, but then they just stayed, right? So, right now, they should just respect it. Amzik on the Harith, this is a very difficult game to pull off.
Yeah.
Gotta remember, the Esmeralda, the Farsa, and the Claude, all of those are counters. The fact that Long is gonna build out towards a winner crown is gonna be an even bigger problem later on for Amzik. So Amzik at this point needs to try to adapt in a way where he plays the Harith as an assassin. He comes in very late into the fight once those abilities have been
So you
used.
flicker forward, summon force,
Yes.
kill Yi1, and then die, and then let everyone else do their job.
No, like the proper assassin, not that kind of assassin where you
yeah.
die together with your opponent. You have to come in late. So when all the resources are burnt, you come in, you clean up, kind of like a Benny Cutie playstyle,
Yeah.
where you come in very, very late. So yeah, good thing is for CG, they've managed to actually weather the storm to a point where now Dianfeng Yaoguai won't have the far lane advantage, right? The base turret that was taken was the one up top, so the Lord is spawning up top. Now CG have a way to deal with waves, and the bottom lane is actually building for CG
Balance.
that slow push.
Well, let's see what old Valens gonna get spotted out here. Brought so low already. I'm not sure if Valens gonna be able to get away from this. Feathered airstrike dropped down already. Zaman force as well. So some crucial ultimates on both sides being used. This fight for this Lord though, still gonna be slow and steady. And we'll see if this time Gary's been able to steal these objectives. We'll see if he goes for this one.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. That hold on. The Lord is still there. Gary has been winning this retribution battle so far.
Is he gonna go for it? I think, yeah, okay, goes for the reset. Got the call. Just back off. We need these ultimates.
Yeah, bottom lane, someone's gonna have to deal with that. Actually, it might be building back for Dianfeng Yaoguai towards CG Esports because the wave was actually super low. Let's see how that unfolds. Would love to see a camera down there to actually confirm what's happening in the bottom lane because that will be the determining factor as to who wins out.
Holy Crystal as well for Chiku, so should be able to deal with Vel. But look at him behind. Chiku got hot.
There's the jump. AOG already used by Zed. Taking quite a bit of damage. Goes in with the Unbreakable. Goes a little bit too far. Pops the Revitalize. He's in trouble. Gary gets the Lord secured. Lung is gone. Zed is gone. And CG Esports will take down 3. They're going to be going for Vel as well. Yi1 so low. He's got to disengage and get back to base. Vel has enough shields and defensiveness. He's going 1v3 now. And with Lord secured, CG will just go ahead and get ready to go with the Lord.
And now just don't throw, right? You got the Lord. Gary's still there. Yetri is still there. It's unfortunate that Chiku and Valens will not be here. And yeah.
They got to deal with that wave in base too.
They should be able to, yeah, he can feather airstrike that one.
Oh, Yi1, whoa, Yi1! With the feathered airstrike, he gets caught standing there. The Lord is still up as well.
So when I say flicker forward, get E1, not exactly how I thought it was going to be, but hey, it happened.
And it was good.
They bought enough time.
And they clear out the bottom lane as well. Great cut by Vel, and great decision by Yi1 as well, not to back off. He just stood his ground so that CG couldn't go for the end.
Oh, I don't know if they're actually going to continue to put pressure, knowing that Yi1's down for another 15 seconds. No flicker available for Valens, so they can't quite force it, but they will get the base turret on the bot. CG sees the win in their sights. Can they actually end it, though? Trying to clear out the minions. DFWG holding on. They might re-engage, or they just take the safe route and let things reset.
I like that CG actually took it slow there because, again, you could easily throw there, and at 19 minutes, that's an instant win for Dianfeng Yaoguai. They could just all mid, especially if Lung does not die.
Exactly. Again, the scaling for Dianfeng Yaoguai is getting really, really good. We do have a pause, so we actually have a little bit more to dissect here. I would actually say, again, an advantage is an advantage, right? They were able to get the gold lead back. They were able to get some good turrets. The fact that they didn't get the turret they needed for the next Lord, because if you look at the map, Lord's going to be spawning in the bottom side. So more advantage, more value you would get from getting the top side base turret. Now it's actually still Dianfeng Yaoguai who hold the advantage, not just the scaling, but the waves. Earlier, it was very, very botched for Dianfeng Yaoguai. They didn't really want to send anyone down below to manage that wave, and the wave kept on crashing in. That's why CG just got the advantage, and they just pushed through. But now, it's going to be completely different. They have a slow push up top. That means the Lancelot, out of all the people, I think it should just be the Lancelot, will be sent up top to constant clear, and that gives a big window for the Eastern Shin to burst out Lord.
Not only that, but you saw from that last fight when they delayed it, and one of the stories, the main points for DFWG throughout this game is Zed. Finally got a Contra.
Yeah.
Well, you saw what happened there. If he is also off on the timing with his AOG, he popped the Revitalize, he get focused in, he's not able to actually catch anyone, you lose such a big component of what's been working for their lineup, you know, and even Lung got blasted, man, and, you know, unfortunately for him, by the way, he had the winner's crown, right? I mean, he had it, but still, he was just gone so quickly, and I feel like, again, it's this, the team fights this whole game have kind of been a little just all over the place, you know? And it's really like whoever comes through with the less errors is going to win that one.
That's why I feel like for Zed, he should play it differently. Like, he's been constantly going in, and it has worked, but he needs to know that in positions where you're not chasing, in positions where you're actually trying to just hold your ground around Lord, you should be peeling for your Claude, for your Farsa, and for your Yi Sun Shin, right? It's all about the 3 backliners here. I think Vel's gotten to a point where he can actually, he's a big boy. He can handle himself. He doesn't need Gatakacha to constantly babysitting him.
Vel is a strong, independent woman, by the way.
In this game,
In
yes.
this game. Yeah, I really feel like for CG, even though Lung is the biggest threat right now, they have their eyes on Zed. Because you can see, once you see Zed using that Unbreakable, either to try and catch or run away, that's the one where CG gets a little bit more aggressive because they understand they only lose if they get caught by that Unbreakable, if they get taunted. Other than that, they should be able to maneuver around and deal enough damage to, I would say, the main damage dealers of Dianfeng Yaguai. So yeah, Zed really has to be careful with his timing. The longer the game goes, the more important timing becomes.
Peel for your backline, Zed. Yi1, Lung, and Super Ken are all very vulnerable. If the Lancelot gets back, there's no one to stop him, so at least you need to be using the Revitalize to heal them back up, especially considering Gary, by the time he gets to the backline, he would already have punctured Vel maybe twice, and then Zed once. So that means like stacked up on the War Axe, stacked up on the puncture as well. And that's why you saw Lung also. He couldn't react to it because he didn't expect that much damage. That's something with the Lancelot, right? The longer the fight goes and the more he's able to build up before he gets to you. Once he gets to you, you're popped.
Yeah, and I feel like something that CG has to be careful of is all this Winter Crown. Because worried that they might use everything.
Yes.
And then they just have nothing.
Yeah, and that's why the positioning around this next Lord is so important. You know, and for a while, you got to remember that Lord earlier on, taking down that base turret up top, now plays a part into this next Lord take for CG Esports. But I think, you know, it's almost more so for DFWG not to overextend in a way, not to get a little too overzealous, and at the same time, utilize the defensive options they have here. So that purple will be taken. Gary's got that under control. They're going to make this way to this Evolved Lord.
Knowing CG, they're probably thinking, how do they end the game with a backdoor?
Look at balance, look at balance. This could be it, this could be the winning play.
He might go right
Lung
wherever
should check.
G1 sets up, Oh, Balance is going to go for it. He gets the G-Code. No, and the kickoff, too. Lung is gone. Flicker not used or anything else. But the fight's still going to be breaking out as E1 picks up a kill with a feathered airstrike. But Super Ken is out of the picture as well. And CG Esports will go to the mid lane. They use the Flicker out. Yi1, no feathered airstrike with Vel. They're going to wait for this minions to push in, and CG Esports, they'll just go for it. Ye3 tanks up the damage, but Gary can end it here as they go for the sweep, sending DFWG out of M7.
Unfortunately, this does mean Dianfeng Yaguai is the first team to get eliminated. And for CG, even though they won here, it's not over yet. They just have 1 win. They need to win 2 more to get to the knockout stage.
GG for Dianfeng Yaguai. They've tried their best, but yes, they have been eliminated from M7. That last moment was crazy by Valence, man. That position that he was holding, that could have been the game winner, and it ended up being the game winner.
I said he was going to go for maybe a redemption, man.
Yeah, that's redemption right there.
That's redemption right there.
I would say that's definitely a maybe redemption.
Maybe, yeah, because there was a couple
Did it
plays.
make up for yesterday's play?
Yeah, it's still a good play, you know?
Yeah.
You get Lung. By the way, it's crazy because you have a Flicker and you have a Winter Crown, man.
Yes.
But that was 2 team fights, big team fights, where Lung was just taken out.
Yeah.
I feel like he has too tunnel vision on something else. Like, I think he's too tunnel vision on his own positioning.
Yeah.
That sometimes, you know, you just overthink it.
Yeah. And that means, by the way, this is back-to-back 0-3 performances for the Chinese representatives. Last year, it was KBG. This time, it's Dianfeng Yaguai. Still 0-3. Despite, again, Dianfeng Yaguai coming into this tournament as a team that a lot of people look towards because they were able to make it to top 4 in GOTF.
And I feel like this is also another case why world-class teams need something like a sports psychologist, because it's clearly something is not okay with their decision making, something is not okay with their momentum, their communication. sometimes you need someone to help you out with that, because even Aisu pointed out, there's some mechanical errors that we see in game, and we question, like, you don't usually play like this.
Yeah.
How is it that you bought the Winter Crown and never really use it?
Yeah, you didn't really see him use it that much, or even the flicker, you know, to an extent. And it's like, that was one of the fights right there, right? And you see it later on too, and you know, it just, again, it was down to both teams having mistakes and errors, but CG Esports kind of locked in when they had to and made it happen.
Yeah, and it's just, there's a lot of what if in this game. What if Yuan had a better early game, better mid game, because they were able to go all the way to the late, and it looks like Lung had enough damage to do it, just didn't have the space.
Yeah. Really looked that way, man.
Yeah. So now we will be looking onto the stage where it looks like Eterna is there with both Gary as well as Chiku for us to understand what really happened in that game.
Once again, thank you so much to DFWG for their time here at M7. But unfortunately, their journey must come to an end. And on a brighter note, we have CG now up on stage with us. We have Chico as well as Gary. Let's give a round of applause for CG! Hello.
Hello.
Pulse check. How are we feeling about that 2-0?
Of course happy, but cannot happy yet because we still have match, right? That's
Yeah. You still have matches, so you're happy but not too happy,
Yeah.
right? Okay, Chiku, I want to continue on this because earlier on I got to talk to Maria, one of your analysts in the coaching staff, and she mentioned some issues that have been happening within CG.
yeah.
You guys have been through so much to get to this point. Can we talk about those problems just a little bit? What do you think was the main problem? Because she mentioned something about communication. Did you feel the same way?
I think communication and we don't play together. That's the problem.
Okay, communication, you guys don't play together.
Yeah.
Now, with this 2-0 victory, do you feel that that problem has been resolved?
I think already okay, and then but still sometimes have miscommunication, but we can fix later.
Can fix later.
Yeah,
Positive though, right?
yeah.
Positive. What about you, Gary? Do you feel like there was a similar issue for you as well? Communication and not being together in the team?
Yeah, I think we just not play as a team, and I don't know, maybe we just got pressure by BO1 because we never play BO1, right? So when we got play BO3, we can do better.
Okay, so it was just because of the tournament system. The tournament format, best of ones, made you a little shaky, but now you're back in a best of three. Gary, it's been quite some time since we've seen you on the international stage, but this isn't your first time, right? We saw you at M4.
Yeah.
What do you think is different about your M series performance back in M4 and now here at M7?
Another team or me?
Just you personally, how do you
Oh,
feel?
if I personally, I think I already be more mature in gameplay, and for another team, I think all the team now very stronger.
Okay, so personally you feel more mature, and then you see now in the landscape of the MLBB community here in M7 that the teams are stronger. All right, on that note, before we let you go to celebrate just a little bit for this victory, we do want to know if you have any messages to your fans back at home.
Cakap Malaysia ya.
Boleh, boleh.
Okay, untuk fans Malaysia, untuk fans Malaysia and CG, InsyaAllah kita orang akan buat yang terbaik untuk next match and keep doakan kita orang sebab perjalanan masih belum terhenti ya.
Okay. The venue is clapping for them right now. We're so proud of you. Do you have anything to say, Gary, on top of that? Anything you want to share? A special someone maybe you want to shout out?
I just feel happy.
You just feel happy. We're also very happy for you guys, and we hope to see you in your next match. Good luck, because we now want to throw it over back to our casters to break that best of three down. Casters, you know what to do.
Actually, at this point, what are we supposed to do again?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a bit lost.
I'm pretty lost as well, man.
Break it down.
Break
We're gonna
what?
break it down.
Break it down.
We're gonna break barriers, right?
We're gonna show the world.
Not gonna lie, I was hoping for a bit of translation coming in from Eterna because I'm not really sure what was the message that Chiku was sending over to the rest of Malaysia. But I just assumed he was just like, I'm happy but not too happy.
Yeah.
You really don't want to hear that coming in from your boss.
Yeah, I'm happy, but not too happy. That's a bit passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
Chiku knows how to be a boss, though. That's what bosses all do.
Yeah, it's like telling your parents you got an A.
Yeah.
But they want an A+.
Exactly. Speaking of, Gary is the MVP by our official gaming partner, Realme.
Yes, sir.
4, 2, and 5. In terms of the KDA and the damage numbers, it's not all that impressive, but I would say in terms of his performance, especially
Yes.
securing all those neutral objectives,
Exactly.
really made it so that how do I say this? That CG was not bugged, ducked, that kind of thing, you know?
Huh?
They weren't
A
what?
bug what?
They weren't ducking a lot, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of people would say like Balance would be MVP after that final one, but I'm like, yeah, no, Gary was the guy the whole game, not just one moment. He was constantly getting Lung, getting the backliners, like here you can see, and also, like you said, LaFell, the neutral objective takes, man. He out-retried Super Ken the entire series. Like, Super Ken got gapped, and he's my GOAT. But yeah, all throughout, it was, again, early on CG playing the macro game. They were really just out-rotating Guai everywhere, even around the neutral objectives. After the clutch steals of Gary, they would be able to convert on even more objectives, but then they lost track a couple of times of what they needed to do, right? It was just Amzi getting caught, not being able to adapt fully just yet, but after that, I think he actually did learn, he improved, and he was like, okay, I should come in very late into the skirmish. I shouldn't be the first one there. Guai, though, with this draft,
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that they should have done better. This was a draft that was really, really good. So many moments here and there where Gary just styled on Guai. And again, it's because Zed just showed up and used all of his resources way too early.
Yeah, it was tough too for Vel because I think, you know, he was able to go like 1v2, 1v3 as much as he wanted to on the Sesma. I see him, usually he's like half or full health, right? But it was those back lines, and I think that's why, Mirko, when you mentioned earlier on, like Zed might have to reconsider sometimes healing instead of using that as an initiator a lot of times on the Ganakacha. Like your list of priorities, especially when you're these roamers, just like we saw from Valence, will change in the course of the game with how things are going, you know? And again, you can see the emotions here from the DFWG, and it's just unfortunate because, again, there was a point in that game when they did have control. But like you mentioned, even with MVP Gary there, when their base was being focused on, he was split pushing and he was going down that mid lane to get those tier 2 towers down.
Yeah, that's one of the tougher things of using a roamer. You got to think on your feet, right? Because your job changes depending on the time, depending on the situation. And yeah, even though Super Ken is the GOAT, right? But in this game, Gary was the cat, and that's why they won.
Cats beat goats.
Wait, cats beat goats?
No, because he was the cat for that one. Carry at the time.
Carry at the time.
There you go. I can think of letters that become sentences.
So it's C-A-T-T.
Carry at the time, yeah.
Sure.
But it's still cat.
Yeah.
I'll
fair.
think of other animals. Just give me time.
All right.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of something for lizard.
But okay, you'll work
That's a
on
long,
that.
that's a long
The
acronym.
next one, crocodile.
Oh.
And then
Right.
hippopotamus.
But yeah,
Took a lot.
like let's break this down, Mirko. Like, what could have DFYG really changed so that there's really nothing that CG could have done? Because I kind of feel like the devs did say CG had a draft that was kind of hard to execute against DFYG.
Yeah, the FYG had all the cards, the necessary cards to win. They just fumbled it, I feel. And I think the biggest change that I would do, very, very small decision, but has drastic impact, is the Purify for low instead of the Flicker. Going up against the Cho already, that should have